Every single business, doesn't matter if it's a tiny coffee shop on the corner or some global tech giant, speaks a very specific and really powerful language. It's this one language that can take every single thing they do, every sale, every decision, every big plan, and turn it into a story that anyone can understand.
So that kind of begs the question, right? How do businesses actually talk? I mean, how do they talk to each other, to their investors, heck, even to themselves? How do they let everyone know how they're doing, if they're healthy, what their goals are, and how they're performing?
Well, it's not with slick marketing slogans or those fancy mission statements you see on the wall. Nope. They speak the universal language of money. And this language, it just cuts right through all the noise and gives you the straight-up, unvarnished truth about what is really going on inside a company.
And, every language needs a grammar, right? Rules to make sense of it all. Well, for the language of business, that grammar is called accounting. The textbook definition is that it's the process of recording, classifying, summarizing, analyzing, and interpreting all the financial stuff, the transactions, that happen in a business. It's literally the rule book that makes the whole conversation make sense.
Okay, but let's just cut through the jargon. In really simple terms, accounting is just the tool that helps us see how money flows in and out of a business. That's it. Where's the cash coming from? Where's it all going? And maybe most importantly, what's left over when all is said and done? It's really that fundamental. Let's make this super real for a second. Imagine a small home tiffin business, right? So they bring in 8,000 rupees from customers who love their food, but they had to spend 5,000 rupees on all the groceries. The language of accounting takes those two simple facts and translates them into one super clear, super important number, a profit of 3,000 rupees. All right, so if we're sticking with this idea that accounting is a language, then what can it actually describe? What kinds of stories can it really tell? Let's dig into its grammar a little bit to see just how much it can do.
So at its heart, accounting is like this amazing toolkit with different tools for different jobs. Yeah, sure, it records transactions and figures out if you made a profit. That's the basic stuff. But it goes way, way deeper. You've got specialized areas like cost accounting, which is what a car company uses to figure out exactly how much it costs to build a single car. Then there's auditing, which is all about making sure the numbers are accurate and you can actually trust them. And you've got management accounting, which gives the people inside the company the data they need to make those big decisions. So you see, it's not just bookkeeping. It's this whole system for looking at a business from every possible angle.
And the foundation for all of this? It's simple. Creating a systematic record of every single transaction. The best way to think about it is like a super detailed business diary. It captures every financial moment, no matter how big or how small. Because honestly, without that diary, you're just flying blind.
And once you have that diary, you can use it to paint a really clear picture of the company's financial health at any point in time. It's like taking a snapshot that shows what the business owns, we call those assets, versus what it owes to other people, and those are its liabilities. That balance, well, that's a huge indicator of how healthy the business is.
But here's the kicker. This isn't just about staring at the past. The real power of accounting is using all that historical information to make smart, educated guesses about the future. Questions like, should we expand or should we launch that new product? In the end, the answer almost always comes back to the numbers.
Okay, so we know what this language can say. Now let's talk about the conversation itself. Who's actually listening to these financial stories, and what are they hoping to find out?
Well, the audience is pretty diverse, actually. You've got investors, and they're listening in to see if it's a smart place to put their cash. You have banks, and they're trying to figure out if the business can pay back a loan. The government's listening, too. They want to know how much tax is owed. And of course, the managers inside the company are listening 24/7 to help steer the ship. Every single one of them has a critical question, and accounting is the only thing that can give them the answer. And all of this leads to a really important point, the power of fluency. Just like learning to speak French or Spanish, being able to speak the language of business well, using accounting the right way, gives you a huge advantage.
So why is being fluent in accounting so important? Well, for starters, it means you have organized records. It means you can accurately figure out your profit and loss, and it clearly shows how financially strong your business is. But it's more than just tidy paperwork. It's about making sure you're following the law, which is what builds trust with investors. And on the inside, having that clarity helps you catch mistakes, or even fraud. It all comes down to control, clarity, and credibility.
But here's a cool thing to think about. Just like any living language, accounting isn't stuck in the past. It's always evolving.
Technology is creating what you could almost call new slang and totally new dialects. Seriously, the way businesses talk money is changing, and man, it is changing fast.
First off, let's talk automation. You've got software now that does all the boring, repetitive stuff, the recording, the classifying. This is huge because it frees up actual human accountants to do what they're really good at, looking at the data, analyzing it, and offering up strategic advice. The job is shifting from just being a bookkeeper to being a financial strategist. It's a total game changer.
And then you've got the cloud. With cloud accounting, a company's financial story isn't trapped on one hard drive in the office anymore. Now it's accessible from anywhere, at any time, and in real time. This has completely changed the game for how businesses, especially ones with remote teams, manage their money and work together.
Okay, and this is where things get really cool. AI and big data are turning accounting from something that just looks at the past into a tool that can predict the future. Think about it. An AI can sift through mountains of past sales data and market trends to predict what's going to be a bestseller next season. That lets a business get its inventory just right before anyone else even knows what's coming. We're talking about seeing the future, not just writing down what already happened. And looking even further ahead, we're seeing new dialects like blockchain pop up. What it promises is just a whole new level of security and transparency. We're talking about a financial record book that's pretty much impossible to mess with. This could totally change the foundation of how we trust financial information, not just in one company, but across entire industries.
Now, we do need a little reality check here. As powerful as this language is, it's not perfect. It can't put a number on really important things like team morale or how much people love a brand. It's mostly based on things that have already happened, it can be manipulated, and it really struggles to value things you can't touch, like a great idea or a patent. So yeah, it tells a vital story for sure, but it doesn't tell the whole story.
So, when you put it all together, what do you get? You see that accounting is so much more than just crunching numbers. It's the absolute backbone of a business. It's the most critical tool for making smart decisions, and it's the best guide we've got for figuring out how to grow in the future. And that really leaves us with one powerful idea to walk away with. Understanding accounting means understanding business. It's as simple as that. If you truly want to know what's going on inside any company on the planet, you've got to learn how to speak its language.